Hi, I'm Leah Mattinson. I've recently sent out an email to you about psychosocial factors in safety, productivity, and engagement. And I really want to focus in on safety as the primary sort of campaign or kickoff point in the productivity and engagement being kind of an after effect of dealing with the root cause of safety in the workplace. My personal passion about this really is from my own experience of being married to a tradesman who worked away. And for a number of years, we both prided ourselves on being excellent people. He was excellent technically at his work, and as am I, and he was excellent as a husband, and I was excellent as a wife. One of the things we just couldn't sort out or figure out, actually, even though we had this fantastic marriage and really genuinely cared about each other, is how to navigate through the working away. So there's only about 4 things that matter in relationships. Proximity is one. And so this is a big challenge for people who are working in remote locations or in camp situations or where they're away for a number of days. There's 3 more factors that are also important in getting together and being able to sustain a relationship. So hindsight being what it is, I took a real interest when I saw the aftermath of our marriage falling apart, which is all the ripple out effect of professionally how he managed in his life, and also the after effect on kids and just relationships in general at work for him, and the diminishing sort of respect and his own self-care. So as the first tenet of safety being personal wellness, and then everything else kind of being able to flow out from that. I took this special interest in how do you actually fix this problem, because there's got to be a solution to it. I mean, we can't just keep going on with it being an acceptable sort of practice to watch families and marriages fall apart. And especially when we see the devastation on individuals and in industry, the costs. So we have long and short-term disability. We have men who have no retirement income. We have women who are becoming non-feminine because they are in fight mode all the time, trying to get stuff to be certain for themselves and their children's futures. So, and not to be sexist and put it into one category or another, I realize that there are women who work in remote locations as well. So please don't take that as a disregarding of that circumstance as well. Primarily, though, up north and in remote locations, we do see men, and we see women on the other end and their families who are trying to figure out how to survive this working away. I propose that there is a solution to that, and that it's just like learning to drive a car. You know, if you put somebody in a vehicle and they've never seen a vehicle, they've never touched a steering wheel, they really don't know how to manage it. And marriage and relationships are much the same. So, and even as a young person, before they've even selected a partner, how do you select a partner that can actually even manage to deal with the working away? 95% of success in relationship is making the right choice out of the chute. And then afterwards, the 5% is knowing the rest of it. So my goal in talking to you about this, and around safety in particular, is that if a person is distracted at work thinking about A, is my family falling apart, B, I seem to not be able to come home and actually participate as a part of the family, that I'm an intrusion, that I'm not part of the schedule, that I disrupt everything when I go home. So this isn't only for the men or the people who are working away, it's also for the men to be able to educate their spouses at home. And part of being a really good spouse is being willing to learn. How do I continue to be that good spouse? How do I heal things? How do I fix things? How do I maintain my integrity while my husband or wife is working away? And it is a skill set. It's just like trust. Trust is a skill. Building trust, maintaining trust, rebuilding trust when you violated it, those are all skills. So personal wellness in a safety application is a skill as well. Men come to work, they do a great job, and then they become distracted with things that are going on in their personal life. And it's kind of like the what were they thinking what they were thinking about is things on the home front that are actually not okay. And then not only do they have to cope with, wow, I missed a pinch point, or wow, I almost caused an accident at work, but also the whole environment becomes toxic because all of the people that are working in that environment, or 60 to 80% have experienced a divorce. They've experienced separation from their family. They've experienced the wife that they love and care about turning into Medusa because she's trying to survive. So it's like navigating through all that and talking to each other for support is an unreasonable sort of way to resolve this with any kind of goodwill or moral intelligence. What we want to do is to inspire people to go, A, think we can make better selections. B, we can fix things at home. So it gives people hope and it gives them growth and contribution toward actually fixing things, not an environment where people are going, well, why don't you just divorce the fill in the blank here? But the people actually go, you know what? Jane and I went through the same thing. Here's how we managed it. And we still have playfulness and passion in our life because we actually figured it out, which is exciting. When you can figure things out and sort things out, it's like learning a new skill. And in marriages and in relationships, love is an endless act of forgiveness and trust, building and rebuilding trust. So to keep on going back to those things, and for men and women to be encouraged to do that under the tenet of safety and being able to go home safely makes good sense. It also makes good sense for an employer to go, not only do I want you to be safe, but when you're here and you're not worried about your wife or you're not worried about your family, you're actually going to produce better for me. You're going to be more engaged because A, you know that I as an employer actually have your best interest at heart, A, and that B, that I have taught you something really important that's just as important as not staring at your crotch, pardon the pun, but around the phone safety. It's like, this is important. That you should look forward to your days off. You should look forward to going home. You should look forward to having the skills to actually communicate with your spouse and to be able to bring home a little something that you can also enhance their skill level in being a better partner. Because for most people, what they want is for their relationships to work out. And it's the only place that they don't have all the control in the world. All you can do in relationship is influence each other. So if, as an employer, we're going to influence people for good, let's start with their personal wellness. Let's start with their ability to be safe at work. Let's start with their ability to be able to attend to their job, because when they know that they can have peace of mind that at home that their spouse has their best interests at heart.